selling life insurance is social work. That was the thing for me when a guy named Jim Godwin introduced me to the business. I said, what do we do? And he said, we call people up and we protect them and their families. And I'm like, well, I do that over here. And he said, yeah, but you don't make enough money to live the life you want to live for you and your kids. And he was right. It struck me. I was like, okay, cool. But I really want to do things where I'm making a difference. The money will come. I want to make a difference. And I'll never forget, I was selling life insurance part-time for about 2.5 months. And I went to a home in Warrigan, Connecticut. Lady's name was Lisa. I'll never forget it. And she answered the door and she said, you won't be able to help me. And I said, why not? And she said, because I have stage 3 or 4 pancreatic cancer. Like, I'm dying. And she said, can you help me? And I said, no. I didn't have any graded products that time. I couldn't get her insurance. Now, I'm not going to lie to anybody about anything. I was like, ma'am, I won't be able to help you. She was in her early 30s. And her husband came around the corner, big old dude, started yelling at me, cussing me out. And I sat down both of them for about a half an hour, and I got him a $250,000 policy. And he was healthy as a horse. I mean, big guy, great. I mean, big guy, he's 6'4", 230, great shape, not a partier, not on any medication. And 48 hours after I wrote him a policy, died in a motorcycle accident. And then she died shortly after that. And the only money the kids had was the $250,000 I got for him. I think, Gary, after that happened, my whole perspective on insurance changed. The whole thing changed. Everybody's life is fragile, I realized. You never know when it's your time. And I realized that middle class and lower middle class and lower class people weren't taught what wealthy people are taught about life insurance. Nobody taught about life insurance when I was growing up. I'm a smart person. My mom's not dumb. She's smart. But we never talked about it. And I realized that when wealthy folks died, it was like an event, right? Like, nobody wanted to happen, but like, they had everything. Like, people got paid. Like, they actually planned for these things and put money in place and developed legacies. The first time I heard the word legacy and it meant anything to me outside of sports was in life insurance. And I'll never forget, a guy said to me, Shawn, when you meet with people, they're already going to leave a legacy. All we're trying to do is help them be a positive one. But if they do not have life insurance, and they leave their wife and children, encumbered with bills, got to pay for their funerals, they leave a negative legacy. So I really wanted to not only help them leave a positive one, but prevent them from putting their families in a terrible position. Because, okay, what's going to happen if you die or he dies or you both die? So, yeah, it became my passion.
3.5 years ago, you met with a few of our leaders in our company. Where do you align with Southwestern? Where do you think our two companies align, and what do you think is important for someone to be successful?
I think the thing I liked the most about it was the work ethic, yes, because that was impressive. It looked like it was a really great relationship. And I think, Gary, with full transparency, working with you and some other folks now is really solidified that. You are a guy in the field. You are a guy that knows what it takes. You are a guy that should be on this podcast. And with full transparency, that was always what I believed in it. I'm a sales guy. I got my life insurance license. I went and sold. We launched Fan First Life. I was in the field full time. I owned the company. I'm the president of the company. The insurance carriers would call me and be like, hey, we're trying to get a hold of you. I'm like, I'm selling. They're like, you sell life insurance. I'm like, yes, I'm in life insurance. They're like, you're the president of the company. I'm like, is there a rule that says I can't sell? They're like, no, there's no rule. I'm like, okay, I enjoy helping people. Why would I not want to do that? So you guys, for a long time, have been out in the community helping people. I want to build people too, Gary. And I think a lot of the folks I was building, people didn't necessarily believe in them. They weren't raised in this situation where it's like, hey, man, all I got to do is show up and grandpa let me run the company. They're trying to find their way. And a lot of times this entrepreneurial journey is their first entrepreneurial journey. And also folks pull against them, not because they're bad people. They just don't know. They're not entrepreneurs. So it's easy to be scared of what you don't know. So I have to appreciate them, their uncomfortableness. So I look at guys like you and me. My job was to walk in, put my hand on the guy's back and be like, hey, man, I know a lot of people are telling you can't do it. I know a lot of people are saying things like, if it's too good to be true, it is, and yada, yada. But you know what? It's a great industry. I looked at you guys, and you had a lot of guys and girls with a blue-collar mentality to go out there and serve people. And you're fearless.